Okay, Divine coming back with another message. This message is specifically for the chosen, though. So this message isn't for everyone. Um, y'all got people real triggered right now. You got folks triggered out here. And when I say triggered, I mean like they can't even be in your presence without feeling just, they don't know what to do with you, my lord. You want to know the fastest way to figure out if you got someone triggered? Watch their reaction, like watch their eyes, their facial expression when they see you. Because if they're already operating in like a demonic, or like they have evil intentions towards you, or because a lot of people just be plotting and planning just because they energetically just don't like you. And so people justify the way that they treat you based on their perception of you, right? So people will say like, oh, well, she thinks that she's better than me, even though you ain't said none of these things to this person. You haven't spoken to this person. You don't even know them. Somebody perceived you as being better than them, or thinking that you're better than them. So then they go and try to treat you poorly because, well, they're stuck up anyways. Well, you're none of those things. They made that up. Like literally, they made that up. People, you can't control people's perception of you. Unfortunately, like people are going to feel however they want to feel about you. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in this world. But don't take none of this stuff personally. Because if you got people that triggered that are like so hell-bent on trying to see you falter, they're trying to see you come out of character, you're doing something correct in this world. There's something about the way that you have healed. There is something about the way that you show up in this world that's got other people who wear masks feeling very, very exposed. And it's okay to not... it's okay to be uncomfortable in those situations, because naturally when you haven't done anything to anyone and people are just acting really strange towards you, of course you're gonna be like, okay, like what's going on for real? But it's always the people who be back, behind the scenes whispering, the ones that are always like, oh, we're gonna do this and that to this person. And y'all go watch my video about they wanted a show. Like people see you and they want to pick on you because there's something about you that makes them feel inferior. There's something about you that makes them feel very uncomfortable. And like I said, these people wear masks. So a lot of these people, they show up in the world in a way that they really aren't. A lot of people try to show up in this world as being loving and kind and caring, but really behind the scenes, they're really not. They're really demonic. They're really mean. They're really evil. They do really weird stuff behind the scenes. Like just go look at like some of those people that talk about like, oh, this world is full of pedophiles and blah 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 blah, and then years later you find out that they were actually the pedophile. It's like a lot of people who talk about those types of things are usually like the ones that like are hell-bent on like trying to accuse other people of being something, are usually the ones that are doing it. And that's all in an attempt to take the focus off of them, and have the focus on you. And this, we talked multiple times about how people try to invoke some sort of emotional response out of you so that they can justify the way that they treat you. And it's really difficult for these people because when you don't emotionally respond or react to their negativity, it puts a mirror up to them and it makes them really, really upset, because they don't want to have to look at themselves and say, oh, that's my behavior, that's me. It's not them, it's me. That is really uncomfortable for a lot of people. So don't take it personally. It is what it is. People are going to feel however they want to feel. That is their business. And you keep minding yours. but you have them triggered. And like I said, it's not because you did anything to them. They're triggered because of their own self, because of how they show up in the world, because they choose not to be authentic. And let's be honest, going forward in this world, as we're seeing it happen, we're literally watching this happen. Like, authenticity is going to get you further in life than trying to fit in all the time. Because the same people who, when you try to fit in with everyone, it only gets you so far. You might be able to get certain positions, you might be able to fast track some of like your successes, but those are not going to last long, because things will fall apart a lot faster. I've watched people try to fast track their road to success by, kissing up to people and trying to put other people down so that they can get ahead of them. And what they've ended up doing was setting themselves up for failure later, because the people who they trusted turn on them. The people who they decided that were better than you ultimately never liked them either. So they wasn't going to help them. Or because, like I've said before, like, people want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. Period. Like, you got a lot of family members. I can attest to that for sure. You got family members who, they're okay with you, getting a degree. They're okay with you getting a house, but as long as it's not better than theirs. I had an aunt that was upset with me. She didn't say it to me, outright, but I could tell by the things that she was doing, how she was sending her son to me. Like, she did not want me to get my master's degree because she doesn't have hers. And she doesn't want me to achieve more than she has in her lifetime. Which is so crazy, because it's like the same energy that people put into trying to tear you down, they could be putting it back into themselves to build themselves up. Because it takes energy. It takes energy to be hateful. It takes energy to be to literally be looking at somebody else and saying, like, why do they have this? Why are they like that? Instead of saying, what can I do to better myself? And it never ceases to amaze me how small people think. And I'm like, these people clearly think small of themselves. If you are sitting here looking at someone else saying, like, well, how can I get to be like that? Your journey is not going to look like that person's journey. That's why these people will mimic you. That's why people feel like, oh, well, if I just do X, Y, and Z like they do, then I'll shine like them. No, you won't. Because my journey is not your journey. My purpose is not your purpose. Everyone has something that they're good at. Every single person. Every single person on this planet has something that they specifically are good at, and that no one else can replicate. Nobody else can do it. But what a lot of people do, instead of trying to figure out what it is that they do perfectly, that they do well, they look at other people and try to tear them down. And I'll never, ever understand that type of energy. I will never understand it, because it takes so much more energy to tear someone down than to really look at yourself and say, like, you know what? I am fabulous. I'm a good writer. I'm a good, I don't know what people do. I'm a good artist. I play guitar well. I'm a good singer. Whatever it is that you do well. Like, everyone does something well. Very, very well, that cannot be replicated. And if you're searching right now, if you're trying to figure out what it is that you do well, my best advice to you is go back to doing what you used to do when you were a kid. Like, what excited you? Like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to make my own little, like, books. Like, I wrote little stories and I drew pictures. And when I started my healing journey, what I started doing was writing. And I started writing a whole bunch more every day. And even just by me writing in my journal, just personal, just writing down my feelings, pissed people off. I had my so-called best friend come up to me, talk about something. Oh, I have pretty handwriting. Like, are we 12? I was minding my business. I was literally just going through something at that time. Well, I've been going through it. That's not news. But I was just trying to figure some things out. And I was like, I'm just going to take this opportunity while I have it to write these thoughts down so I can release it. So I can, try to make the best next move for myself. And here he go mad because I don't want to play the same games that he likes to play. And this is why we're no longer friends. Also because he betrayed me to appease some people who didn't like me. So I hope that's working out for him right now, and I can already tell you that it's not. But don't you got to learn how to not take stuff personally from people. But you got to really understand, like, it should excite you in a way. Like, if you got people who are like determined to like piss you off, if you got people who are determined to try to make you look bad, that means that you are really doing something. Even if you're like, well, I'm not doing anything, it's like it's the inside work that you're doing. Like, some of y'all don't realize that people see you and they see the glow on you. And a lot of people don't understand that, because this isn't about expensive skincare. This is like, it's something that you can't buy. This is something that you and the Most High did together. This was that dark night of the soul type of, stuff that you had to go through in order to come out on the other side. A lot of people don't even understand what it is that you survived through in order to become what it is that you are today, even if you're not exactly where you want to be. But just the fact that you survived something, or you've been surviving through things that were designed to destroy you, that were designed to put you 6 feet under, and you're still here and you still find a reason to smile every day, that's kind of intimidating to some people, especially the people who know exactly what it is that you went through. Because there were people while you was going through your struggle watching you the whole time. They could have stepped in to help you. They could have. Some of them contemplated it, but they wanted to see you fall. There was pure entertainment. You were placed in some places, like some of those jobs, your family, like your presence in that arena was meant solely for people's entertainment. They loved talking about you and how messy your life was. They loved it. They lived for it. But now that you have started making better decisions for yourself, now that you stopped engaging in people's nonsense, now that you are more focused on growing and elevating yourself and trying to be better, yeah, they mad. Especially if you the family scapegoat, they got to create another scapegoat. And it probably just don't hit the way that it hit with you. Because it felt good to trauma dump on you. It felt good to emotionally punch down on you. And you took it like a champ every single time. Let's not even get it twisted. You took it like a champ, and you did it for a very long time. And those people are mad because now they have to face themselves. It's not a pretty picture to look at yourself and realize the stuff that you do when you're operating in like demonic energy. Because like, you could say whatever you want. I don't care what your religious or spiritual beliefs are. I know that a lot of people say like, oh, tarot card readers, that's demonic. And I don't believe that. What I believe is that you either operate in lightness or you operate in darkness. It's one or the other, and there is no in between. You either operate in the light, you walk in the light, and that is what you do, or you operate in darkness. And a lot of people operate in darkness and try to pretend as if they are walking in light and walking in truth. That's why you got a whole bunch of people who go to church every single Sunday and say that they love the Lord, and they falling out in church. I don't know about other people's churches, but I grew up in Black Baptist churches, and people used to fall out everywhere, all over the floor, saying they caught the Holy Ghost. But ultimately, behind the scenes, nah, they don't live anything like what they preach. They don't practice anything that they preach. Y'all know, I told y'all I grew up with a fake pastor. I grew up with a man that literally had us in church 3, 4, 5 days out the week while he sat up here on the pulpit talking about, how we should be living our lives, when he had multiple children out of wedlock, cheated on my mom their entire marriage, prior to them getting married and throughout their marriage, had his side piece at the church with her, at the time, 6 children by 5 different fathers, in my mama's face every day. I can't make this stuff up, bro. And that's a lived experience. And it's like to see that and to live through that. This is why I don't trust. If you tell me that you're a religious person, like that's your business, but I don't trust you until I see the way that you actually operate and live your life. Because just because you tell me that you're a Christian doesn't mean that you have actual Christian values. There are a lot of people who have a mouthful of scripture and a heart full of hate. They don't really like people. They use people to get to the place that they want to get to. And then when they come in contact with somebody like you who actually has done, it doesn't even matter what your spiritual or religious beliefs are, just the fact that you have taken time out of your days to really work on yourself. Because a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just, what's the word I want to use? They're on autopilot. They get up, they go to work, they go home, they get up, they go back to sleep, they get up, they go to work, they go back home. I mean, they might do a couple fun things here and there, but a lot of people don't really look within. And it's sad. It is really sad and that's why they project onto you. That's why they don't like you. That's why they hate you when you come in. That's why people who don't even know you, who have never spoken to you, are triggered by your presence. You may have not spoken to them at all. You may not even know who these people are. They'll look at you and just know that they don't like you. And it's because you hold a certain level of truth that they have yet to obtain. Especially if you are younger or you appear to look younger than these people. And especially if it's like people that are like, they're seasoned, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they feel like they got life figured out. And then they meet somebody like you who might be 10, 15, even 20 years younger than them, but you seem to have a level of maturity that they have not been able to obtain. That makes them feel some type of way, because they're like, what does this person really know? And it's like, you may have experienced some things in your life that they couldn't even fathom. I remember like going to my job, and I had people who were older than me, and I would try to explain certain things about what I've been through, and they would just look at me like yeah, whatever. And it's just like, just because you're older than me does not mean that you hold more wisdom than me. That's not what that means. Like, my lived experience is something way different than whatever years you've been on this planet. Like, we're on different timelines. So you don't know what I've been through. And a lot of people don't want to believe that the things that you've been through are valid, because they don't understand how you were able to survive through them. That's why it makes them upset. That's why they look at you funny. That's why they stare at you for long periods of time. They'll stare at you, and some people are staring at you because they're kind of in awe of your glow, of your presence. Like, it's something they've never seen before. But then there's also people who stare at you because they sending you the evil eye. Like, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. They send you the evil eye because they want you to falter. They want you to fall. What's the Bible say? We fight not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and rulers of darkness in high places. It's spiritual. It's not personal. It's spiritual. Them folks don't like you because of how they feel about themselves. And it is up to you to continue to move in the direction of life that you need to move into, so that you could be on your highest timeline. And being calm is it's a superpower. It is a superpower. Being still is a superpower, because people aren't expecting that. People are expecting you to act belligerent. They're expecting you to just act completely out of character. So being on top of your game and not allowing the things that people say and allowing the things that that people do towards you to determine how you show up in this world is a flex. Period. I don't care what anybody says. It's a flex. Because a lot of people are controlled. They let other people control their emotions. They let other people determine, how they operate in certain spaces. You don't be one of those people. You don't be one of those people. And that car that just pulled behind me, he was proving my point. Because I don't know, he was just sitting there. And then you heard him start his car before, and then he shut it off. And then was listening to me more. Proved my point. Proved exactly what I was saying. That's why I said you got people triggered. And not only do you have people triggered, but you're triggering some people to do better for themselves. Because it's like, even if you're sitting here like, I haven't done anything, you are. The fact, like I said, the fact that you have decided to heal, the fact that you have decided that your future is more important than appeasing all these people, making people happy, that's something that a lot of people can't say, because there's a lot of people who are still stuck in relationships, at jobs, and some people won't even leave the city that they grew up in. I know some people right now who have barely been out of my hometown. Like, barely. Like, maybe they've been on a vacation. Maybe they done been... Now, I'm from Flint, so, maybe they've been to Swartz Creek or Grand Blanc, if you know, you know. Maybe they've been to Cedar Point in Ohio and Sandusky. That's probably as far as some of those people have gone. And that's as far as some of those people are willing to go. Because being outside of their box, being outside of their bubble is really scary for them. And having faith over fear and holding on to those principles and believing that no matter what happens, that God's got you, that is going to be okay. Because sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone in order to find something that actually might be beneficial for you. Because the Most High may be leading you to a different country, a different state, a different, a whole different type of existence, and you steady over here trying to hang on to all these people who can't go with you. And I go watch my video about they can't go with you. They can't come with you to your next destination. And what are you hanging on to? Especially hanging on to people who don't even like you. Like, y'all got to open up y'all eyes and look at that and be like, listen, like, these people really don't like you. They like what you can do for them. They like to play in your energy and pretend like they're just like you, but they're not. Because listen to me, when you walk away from people, their lives start to crumble. You're so anointed, like the Most High has anointed you to where people are covered. And I've watched this happen in my life. That's how I know. This is how I know that, like, when you're around people, like, people be thinking that your favor is their favor. They think that your anointing is theirs until you remove yourself. That's why some of them people try to come back in your life. Not because they miss you, but they miss the favor that they had when you were around. Because stuff always worked out for them when you were around. They was getting, approved for things more. If they were friends of yours, they were, being able to get the partners that they wanted. Or maybe, they were able to get the job that they wanted. And it was because they were around you, and you hold a lot of blessings. And once you left their life started to crumble. Like, I've watched myself disconnect from people and their health begin to decline. I've watched myself disconnect from people, and then all of a sudden just turmoil starts happening, like their family members pass away all suddenly and things. And this is not because of witchcraft or you did anything wrong to these people. It's the simple fact that there have been people around you who have been harboring really, really, really negative feelings and emotions towards you, and the only reason why karma has not been knocking on their door is because of your love and favor over them. But once you detach from those people, that favor is gone, and there is no light in their life anymore. So it's just surrounded by darkness. And that is why that's why havoc is hell. I was hearing the other day, all hell is breaking loose. Everywhere you go and you shine that beautiful bright light of yours, when you walk away, all hell breaks loose. Every single time. This is why you have people triggered, because they don't understand how you have obtained this light about you. And they either want to snuff it out, they want it gone completely, or they want to try to absorb it for themselves. And I'll do a video on destiny swapping sometime down the road. But that was my message, y'all. Stay prayed up in these times. It's a lot of excuse me. I've been having issues with my throat chakra. I'm not sure if that's a call to rest or somebody just don't want me to talk. But stay prayed up in this time. There's a lot of evil and demonic activity going on in the ethers, in the energy. I can feel it. A lot of y'all got a lot of eyes on you right now, and some of it's haters and some of it's admirers, and sometimes it's hard to decipher because a lot of these people don't approach you, so it's like, who are you? But I just want to let you know that everything's going to be okay. What's the Bible say? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. It's gonna be okay eventually. It can't rain forever. And that's how you know that even when you're in a down season, or like when you've been going through it, is people who have more than you are jealous of you. You know that you're something very special. Because the fact that there are people who have what is considered the ultimate forms of status, the house, the car, the husband or wife, the kids, or whatever, whatever people consider them to be like top tier status, they have all of those things. And you may not have the newest car, you may not have the biggest house, you may still be in an apartment, you still could be living with your mama, who knows, but still there's something about you that they can't buy that in the store. And that pisses them off. Like, that's how you know that you're really special and that you're on your way to doing something. Because I've said this before, and I always said, thieves don't rob empty homes. If it wasn't something in there worth snatching, they wouldn't even come knocking on your door. They wouldn't even come into your energy if it wasn't something worth it. Like, you have to understand how powerful that is. And don't allow these people to absorb or take your power away from you by you getting emotionally upset over them being weird. Because honestly, it's weird for people to start being disrespectful towards you for no reason. That's weird. I don't care. And when people start being weird, it starts getting real funny to me. That's when I start laughing, because it's like, you're not about to bring my energy down just because you feeling some type of way. You go be miserable over there. Told y'all misery loves company. Go watch that video too. Misery absolutely loves company. If people see you up here, like they see you, like, they see you celebrating yourself and loving on yourself, and they don't do that, they of course don't want you to celebrate yourself. They want you to look the way that they feel about you. Ooh, talk spirit. That's why they try to come for your emotions and make you react emotionally, because they want you to get out of character, because that's the way that they see you, and that's how they want you to be. And it does not suit their narrative of you if you stay calm. And that's why I told y'all, keep them guessing and keep them disappointed every single time. It's your girl K Define, and I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.